Hi, Alfonso here from Alfonso's Photo Tours. Today, in my 12 in 12 YouTube video, I want to show you in 12 minutes 12 of my photos that I love on my Japan spring tour. So, here on my website, alfonso.com.au, in the gallery section, I've got choices for autumn, winter, or spring. So, in Japan, in late March to early April, usually venture to areas in central Japan and then make my way up north to other parts of the island of Honshu. So today I just want to pick 12 of my favorite photos, especially during the spring season, that I'd like to talk to you about. So as you can see here, I'm just scrolling through the calendar of photos, and I usually call it a calendar because I try to pick about 12 photos to make a calendar, one representing each month of the year, as my minimum goal for myself and my customers when we go on my 10 to 12 day trips. This trip is actually 12 days long, and it's a mix of doing landscape photography in rural and urban areas, and also a lot of street portrait photography with or without permission. So let me start off with this cherry blossom shot. And if you look at some other YouTube videos that I have posted, recently posted one showing what's in my travel photography kit. I don't take a macro lens with me, but in this case, I take a little close-up ring, which I attach to one of my three lenses that I take. And in this case, it's a 50 millimeter prime 1.2 lens. And I shoot with a Canon EOS R. And it's quite handy just to attach this close-up ring to that lens so I could get these macro photos of cherry blossoms. So cherry blossoms tend to be the bucket list shot for people taking photos of blossoms. There are many types of blossoms, but early in the spring around Japan, starting from the south and working its way up north, you have plum blossoms and you have apple blossoms. And then the cherry blossom, which is this one here, tends to be the favorite out of all of them. It's difficult to photograph because it doesn't stay in bloom for a long time, usually about 7 to 10 days. And if it rains heavy, then the blossoms will fall, and that's the end of it. So yeah, I was lucky to get this with a bit of rain, but not too much rain. And I had to focus stack these. That means that I had to do two photos, one focusing on the droplet to the left of the frame and one focusing on the blossoms to the right of the frame. And then in Photoshop, you put them together to have one photo because it's difficult to get the great depth of field in such a shallow depth of field shot like these macro shots, and it's called focus stacking. So moving on, another spot that I love to photograph at sunset is in the old town area called Shitamachi in Tokyo, and an area called Asakusa. So you may have heard of the temple nearby or the shrine nearby, Sensoji, which is a shrine. And next to that, you've got the river, Sumida River, and you can see this famous tower called Skytree. And next to that, to the bottom right of the frame, you've got the Asahi Beer building, and that golden looking sculpture at the top of the building represents the hop you have on a beer. So yeah, another great spot to shoot from is at the Tourist Information Center, or any of the hotels around that part of the river will give you that rooftop view from the bar. And this is a what's known as a motion blur shot. So basically, you're panning while the subject is moving, and I shot this at about the same speed that the train was traveling, which was about 30 kilometers an hour, shooting at around 1/30th of a second. And after photographing this to accentuate that motion blur in the background, I took it into Photoshop and I added a motion blur filter onto that. So even though there was a bit of motion blur already because of the panning that I was doing with the continuous shutter, I was able to get that. I wanted to accentuate that further, and the motion blur filter in Photoshop helped me with that. The different parts of Japan have different festivals, and so now we're heading into an area near Mount Fuji, and this one is called Shiraito Falls, and it's a beautiful spot. You can get down right by the stream here, and there's this sort of semicircle view of probably about 10 waterfalls that all line up along this line, along the ridge of the inner part of this cliff face. Beautiful spot to photograph. This is Chureito, which is the pagoda that looks towards Mount Fuji at sunrise or sunset. And you're able to shoot this either time, early in the morning or at nighttime, because of its that's facing south. So typically, Mount Fuji is very shy and does not show itself with lots of cloud cover in the afternoon. But in this case, we were lucky at sunset to be able to see her to do a beautiful dust shot. It's 398 steps, though, to get to the top, so it's not an easy climb. So that's the same waterfall we saw earlier, but this time from a view looking down, and then you can see Mount Fuji on the top right of the frame there. So once again, you can see some other plum blossom shots, apple blossom shots, and there's always that bucket list shot to juxtaposition some type of blossom in front of some traditional architecture like this one here in Kyoto. And another one here in Kyoto as well, in the Gion district, where you have lots of geisha that live in the area. And this is at the Philosopher's Walk, it's called, and this is also in Kyoto, which has quite a few areas lined with cherry blossoms. This is just a fun shot we took with one of my customers willing to be a model here and to do a composite of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 photos. So they took a photo, I took a photo, then they moved 6 times to the different spots there to be able to create one photo. So obviously this was put together in Photoshop. So this is back to what you saw earlier in the group shot, and in April there is a festival on the island of Sado. Beautiful island with about 55,000 people, and they have this Oni festival, so they're dressed up like with the devil masks, and you can see this festival all throughout the island, where different shrines and temples, so they gather together in big community festivals to perform a song and dance. That's a taiko drum you have in the background there, and this is a small group that just performed in front of a house. So they usually start like at 4 in the morning till midnight, and so these 2 guys are working non-stop, taking turns, and they're almost in a trance-like dance after being quite fatigued, to continue on with the tradition of warding off any evil spirits and wishing all the farmers good luck for great harvest in the year to come. So that's on Sado Island. That's another tour that I do there. So yeah, again here you're always looking for these beautiful trees, blossom trees that are mixed together with architecture, traditional architecture. In this case, this is in the city of Kanazawa, at the castle at Kanazawa, next to the beautiful Kenroku-en, which is the very famous garden nearby. And so that area of Kanazawa is like a mini Kyoto, and you have areas like this area, the tea district area, which beautifully preserved tea houses that run along this main road, photographed at dusk. So no people, lights on, blue sky, great spot to hang out for dinner as well. So yeah, we're just going to finish up now with a final shot at Mount Fuji, which I've titled Ripple, where I've just thrown into the water a pebble to give us a nice little ripple with a very calming sunrise shot at Lake Kawaguchi. So there you have it, just a snapshot view of my favorite shots in spring taken in various places in Japan. There are various itineraries that may interest you. Please have a look and join me either in late March or mid-April in one of many beautiful places around Japan. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please click on the like button, share, or subscribe. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.